Hey, morning. It's Randy. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought I'd go ahead and do one since I just moved into my new apartment. I just got internet access, and my office is mostly set up, and you can probably see behind me a whole bunch of open boxes because I'm trying to unpack still. Um, I guess the video I was going to do today, a few times a year I'll have readers who will discover basically nerd porn sites and they'll email me. Usually the response is, "Oh, hey, look, how would Aubrey feel about this?" And every once in a while, like probably once every few years, I get someone who'll email me. They'll found a site that is similar in idea to Nerdrotica. It's like nerd phone sex or basically just nerd porn. Once in a while, they'll even offer tech support. And the readers will actually ask, aren't you concerned about this? They're kind of stealing your idea. Or have you thought about maybe taking legal action? And no, I don't think about that because honestly, it wasn't my idea originally. If you read the very first strip, it's in 2004. I'll put a link to it down in the YouTube comments or YouTube description. Um, Aubrey is watching TV and learns about a website that is set up that does both phone sex and tech support, and she's angry and disgusted mainly because she didn't think about it, and then she kind of goes off and does it on her own anyway. Well, when I posted that strip originally, there was a blog post that mentioned the whole story and, you know, talked about the actual site that I had learned about, which was askthetechgirl.com, and it was exactly what Nerdrotica has become an SP. Well, maybe not exactly. Nerdrotica has probably gone a lot further because it does actual cam shows, etc. But Ask the Tech Girl was a site where you could get phone sex, tech support, or both from um, a woman who proclaimed to be a nerd girl. And it was kind of making a little bit of news on the internet at the time. And when people brought it to my attention, I thought, well, that's kind of a clever idea. And it is. I was surprised no one had done it yet. So I posted the comic, the very first strip where Aubrey's talking about it, and then I posted a link in the news and talked about, holy crap, someone actually thought of this. And most of my readers were either that's a great idea, or if they're a female, said, crap, I wonder if they're hiring. I even got emailed by a couple of the women who worked for the site thanking me for free publicity, basically. And then the man who ran the site emailed me and was just completely condescending and insulting. He, I guess, felt I was making fun of them, which is weird because nowhere in the comics did I say, lol, look at these morons, etc. And he's basically started off like it was trying to be polite, but it went straight into as backhanded insulting as he could, or backhanded complimenting as he could. Things like, well, it'd be really great, getting all that attention from your readers if any of them were above the age of 14 and knew what sex was, and just stuff like that. And I was kind of surprised. I mean, I figured any type of promotion would be a good thing. And then he made some comments about, I'm sure having all 15 of your readers come to my site will really spike hits. At which point, I just kind of said, all right, I can send you a copy of my raw logs, and you can see how many tens of thousands of uniques I get, which was around 80,000 at that time, daily. It was free publicity. I don't see what your problem is. I didn't make fun of you, and most people will be pretty happy about anything that got them attention, but if it's really upsetting you that much, I'm happy to remove the link. And I did. I just didn't see the point, and then I didn't make any more other mention of askthetechgirl.com on my website. I had a few readers email me, ask what happened, hey, what happened to the link, and I told them, and their response was, wow, fuck that guy. And I think one of the women who worked for it emailed me and asked me and was kind of embarrassed about it. Much later, the guy emailed me apologizing, but it wasn't a real apology. It was like, oh, hey, just kidding about that. these things happen, and I don't know, maybe the sudden, burst of traffic and vanishing, or maybe one of the police to talk to him about it. And then he made this big speech about, one of the women on my site had a death in the family, and I didn't want her to be upset, which made no sense because nowhere had I done a comic going with Aubrey saying, "Wow, phone sex women, I hope their loved ones die." But I don't know why I keep doing that today. Um, so yeah, it vanished, and like 2 months later, Ask the Tech Girl vanished as well. Um, I have no idea what happened. I'm gonna guess it just didn't really resonate with people. I couldn't tell you, or maybe the guy didn't know what he was getting into. Um, but Nerdrotica stayed in SP, and it's one of those things. I've always had long-term plans for my comic, what would happen with certain characters, and that's one of the few times I did a last-minute storyline just thought for fun, and I also kind of expected it not to really go anywhere, and it has had a major effect. So I really don't care when people start the sites because I have no right to. It's an idea I took. Um, I own, not like these sites are ever pertaining to me, Nerdrotica. I own Nerdrotica.com. I've had I have a lot of readers actually now who work in phone sex because of that whole section of my comic. And I've had more than a few basically tell me that I should use the site for actual phone sex purposes. I really don't know if that's something I want to get into. But hey, money's money, and nah, that'd be a bad idea probably.